Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gamble with SimplerOptions.com, and in today's free video, I wanted to spend some more time on bonds. So, throughout a lot of the free videos that I've been doing, I've been spending time on bonds, kind of going back and forth, talking about the ins and outs of them, and what I wanted to talk about today was how using some of the various instruments to track very similar things may give you different signals. So, when we're looking here at the 30-year notes, or 30-year bonds rather, basically just what we're seeing is a squeeze where the momentum for this move is moving very steadily lower. When you've got a squeeze in play, what this is telling us is that we're waiting for a big move to happen. It is very interesting that bonds have held in so well with a market that has been very strong. So you think, okay, this market is getting ready to explode higher, but the momentum of that just really does not bode well for the same thing. The other thing that I was looking at, and of course most of the time what I will do is track bonds through TLT because that's the ETF that has the positive correlation with them and kind of moves with bonds. You can see here how you had a one dot squeeze that maybe you don't give this as much credibility because it didn't have as much time to really form and mature as a good solid signal. But then you can always flip back to something like TBT, which is the inverse of this, and kind of compare the similar signals here. And this is what I think would be one more cautionary note if you are trying to be long bonds, because if this setup is forming to a way that very similar to that 30-year bond, shows very clean momentum moving from lower to higher. You can also see that we have regained the 21 EMA on a daily closing basis. These are all things that you can watch for a heads up on this being a potential reversal. One other thing that I see in this pattern that just suggests that TBT may have a little bit more upside is when you come back, and this study it's most easy to look at if you will hide your studies, that way you can just see clean price action. But think about the previous rallies in relation to this one. Now we're not going to go back and run the entire chart, but this concept will show you how to look at it. So if you're looking at this, and we're considering this our downward channel or the campaign swing to the downside, think about what the corrective rallies inside of this have been like. Here, very small rally, trend resumes. Very small rally, and the pattern continues. Now what you saw here was a little bit more substantial than all of the previous ones. So for this example, all I really have to run is what is the relationship from this previous swing low to swing high in relation to this swing low to swing high. When you start to break above that, that's what they refer to as clearing bearish symmetry, and it just suggests that this trend, while I'm not going to jump out here and say it's coming to an end, it may have a little bit more upside to it. So if you're really wanting to vouch for the continued downside of TBT or the upside of TLT, you'd like to see your symmetry hold. Of course, with tomorrow's employment data, anything can happen around that, but it is just very curious to see how these markets have been acting in the previous several days, and hopefully that analysis will help you make your decisions the next time you're getting ready to play bonds. So I hope that helps, and I will see you guys at the next free video.